All right, I think we are live and direct. Test one. Hopefully you can hear me, world. This is Alex Dumas, the one and the only. There we are live. This is the week before Christmas, so consider this a gift, a double episode of Train of Thought, a double whammy. So we are here at episode number 12, and season's greetings, happy holidays, all that fun stuff. I'm festive, I'm in the mood, I am jolly and ready to deck these halls with boughs of abundance. So let's situate it, let's get right. And this was not planned necessarily, is subconscious with the green shirt. You just watch episode number 11 with Declutter the Brain. I was honored to have Kitty Andrews as my guest. And today, this is number 12. This is the live episode. So just in case you weren't aware of this, most conversations I'm having on this show with other people, they're going to be pre-recorded. So like, how did he time travel and go from? It's all right. So we're rocking and rolling. Everything's good here. Bear with me for a sec. I want to make sure that everything's up on Facebook and LinkedIn. All right. So this is an encore of a workshop, a presentation that I hosted last week. I shared it with a few people, and it was a great response, great turnout, and I'm really excited by the response afterwards of friends and colleagues, peers, peoples saying like, "Oh man, when we get the replay, hopefully we can see it." I'm like, you know what? Rather than send you a video of it, let's do it again, right? Encore. Let's make it happen. That way, if you're here, you're available, then you can experience it live, and this will be an even better, an upgraded version of that one because just ran through it, just did it. So still fresh in my mind that I to Justin. I'm excited about that. So for you out there, I want to just share this quick message about episode 12, where there's gonna be some things I share on there. People who are close to me to be like, man, I can't believe you felt like that, or that was going on in your world. Well, it's not to jump on the pity party, the pity train, right? This is the train of thought, and I want to just have you peek back into my head of where that direction was going, right? The chugga chugga. It was not all love you, and those moments, that history is necessary to create who I am. So that's the underlying question, like, who are you, and like, how did you get to be this way? And like, I get this stuff a lot, and it's like, well, yeah, I'm lighthearted, I'm fun, but there's you got to go to some other side stuff first to be that, to embrace that, to have that in your world. So anyway, I'm gonna go through this. So whoever just on, if I'm gonna invite you to do something. If you want, you can come on live with this broadcast with me, and it'll be live coaching on the air, live interaction, live connection. And what I recognized from the last workshop was I did a great job of breaking down the concept of it, but to even take it to another level would be give it context. So if someone watching, experiencing this, and if no one jumps on this live, then you watching this, whether it's live on the replay, go through this set of questions, go through this inquiry as if we were across the table from each other, across the desk, or across the Zoom room or whatever, and see what you find for yourself. See what makes sense to you. See what within my story is part of your story, because we're all connected, and this is one of the main points of this thing that I'm doing, right? It's lost art of human connection, and anyone who's building a sales business, any type of thing that involves other people, connecting is really where it starts and ends. Some people will say it's like the no like and trust factor, all those kind of things. That's and what I've recognized is that that's a skill. It's a skill that can be sharpened, harnessed, and for some people, if they get in their own way about different things with connecting and being present and being someone who's authentic and really excited about someone else's opportunities or possibilities, then they get to sharpen that over time. It's not something that happens right off the gate. No one this theory of like a natural salesman, like yeah, there might be elements to that, and that might be the game of the abundance, right? Of tapping back into that and recognizing that for yourself. So I'm gonna give it another minute, see if anybody is available, if they want to come play. If they don't want to come play, then that's fine. We're in this together. We're gonna have this experience together. So this can be fun. And this, and I want to just say this so I can stay in integrity. So that episode 11 that just aired, it was supposed to air in November. I goofed and didn't find the right audio, and I was out of town visiting family and for Thanksgiving week. So that's the week it was scheduled to go out. Didn't go out, so I wanted to remain in integrity to Nick and Ryan, to the Giant Crew, the Tribe of Giants. I said I'd have an episode a month. Couldn't do that, so here we are doubling it up tonight. And next year we're going to continue on the same ride every month, train of thought. So if you aren't already, make sure you subscribe to the Wake Up with Giants TV network on YouTube. Join the Tribe of Giants on Facebook if you're not already in, if you're not already affiliated, so to speak. And if that doesn't happen, that's fine. So look at that. The water shooting off. All right. Now I got to look cool and covered. I'm not kidding. Let the stain show. This is what it's all about. In the show. Thrive to return to abundance, 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 abundance. So look at that. Look at this fancy guy with the fancy slides right off the bat. And look at that jacket smiling. So if you didn't know already, if somehow you are under a rock, somehow you don't know who I am, I'm Alex Dumas, the life success creator. And I'm here to share with you this workshop, this experience called Return to Abundance, the Lost Art of Human Connection. So where does it all start? You might be having some questions on your mind, so I want to address them right here and now. Are you supposed to be here? Yeah, you are. If you're somebody who's heart-centered, who's in the game of service, building a business, leading from the heart, leading with an intention and a commitment to making other people's lives better, then yeah, you're supposed to be here. Can this information help you? It can't. What? Because I'm not here for information, I'm here for transformation. Now, there's going to be some little info things here and there, but for the most part, this is an experience. This is a game that you get to play, a game of inquiry, a game of choices, and that's what's in it for you. Choosing to improve your personal and your professional relationships. Like I said, we're all connected. Our deepest desire is to be understood, to be listened, to be valued, appreciated, loved. And connection is that bridge. Connection is that thing that does all of that, right? It's that Swiss Army knife. So you might be wondering, why are you listening to me? And forgive me if I'm looking from screen to screen, just making sure that there's any questions, any comments, then I'm on top of that. But why are you listening to me? Well, you might recognize this little guy. This is the reason why you're listening to me, because this guy here, look at the laser. He spent a solid part of his mind, of his life, imagining life one way, imagining that he was not enough for X thing, right? I'm not enough for this community. I'm not enough for this school. Not enough for my household in general. Well, that's the story that I built up within myself. When I think about it, as I was thinking about this workshop today, I was like, you know what? My childhood really wasn't bad. Like I had everything available for me. I had friends, funny. I got decent grades. I mean, went to summer school a few times, but whatever. But for the most part, athletic, all this stuff, I had a really good time, and I had a lot of great memories. But there's one memory in particular which stands out, which was a turning point for me, where all those good things they happened, they were in my world, but I made a wall within myself that I was, or a lens of life that I was only going to see it this way. I was only going to see things through the lens when I was about 6 or 7. So I'll show you what I saw. So I'm the youngest of 4 children, just to keep that in mind. So if you do the math right here, mom, dad, sister, 2 brothers, I am not there. And it's one of the first conscious thoughts I really ever had, and where I could hear the voice inside say, like, wait, where am I? Where did that voice come from? Who's saying that? Not an actual voice, not talking to myself, but something inside asked that question, like, where am I? I don't see myself. I'm looking in the back of the photo, not there. And that was like the judge with the gavel. That was the conclusion. All right, I'm not there. I don't exist. I'm not important. Not I'm insignificant. All right, that is the story. That's going to be the tombstone, right? That's the prison sentence, so to speak. Insignificance, lifetime ban from anything important, any real connection. And so you might be thinking, well, wouldn't it just been easy to say, hey, mom, dad, can we just take another family photo, family portrait? But if you build up a story of, well, why does my voice matter? Invisible, I don't exist, these different things, then why would it matter, right? And it sounds sad. I mean, it was sad at the time, and it's something that I'll continue to live with. It's not something that goes away. But what I've learned over time is that that's just a story, and everything I told you about before, right? Fun childhood, video games, um, just safety. First of all, safety, not neglected, not in a space of hunger or any threats of abuse, anything like that. It's just like I had a really great childhood, but this story here was a dominant thing. This was a dominant seed that sprouted into all these different things that happened in life later on, with botched opportunities, anxiety here, drug use here, um, addictions to different things, and not feeling like not connected, not feeling as if I was in place anywhere. So that's what it was like. So I ask you, watching this, what's a story that you've held on to that maybe has not served you or hasn't been as effective? Because I want to start there. This is not therapy, right? But I want to start at the root of it. Let's get to the heart of the matter. What's the thing? What's the thing you're saying, believing, feeling, or felt that was created when you were more or less defenseless, where you just didn't have the right tools, the right enough experience in life to even make a decision of who you choose to be or who you decide to be. And my goal with this is to help you return to a place of being childlike, where opportunities are available to you, where your mind is expansive, you can do anything, and not become childish, where if you don't get your way, you know, then something else is wrong. Everything is wrong because of blah blah blah. Well, we're going to turn the finger and point at ourselves, not to judge, not to condemn, not to criticize, but to free up, to give ourselves the power again that we have, that's always been available to us. So this is what this game is all about today. It's all about choices. And the choices I had were to continue to believe this, or did I want to create something new? Did I want to create success in my life? And that's what I've been able to do since 2018 with so many coaches, so many business owners, entrepreneurs. It's part of what I create myself every day as. When someone experiences me, their commitments become truth, right? They create themselves. So with creating, this is what I've been able to create as a result of separating myself from this story, this ineffective story, to a new story that suits me, someone who belongs. Look at that. Look at these people here. This is my world. This is my universe. My beautiful wife, Sarah, my kids, Juliana, AJ. That's us. And just case in point, Sarah's looking hottie right here. Like, I just want to, let's acknowledge that. Let's get the elephant out the room. Like, yes, Lord. And then there I am on the other side, leading, speaking, serving. So this is what I do. This is the game that I choose to play. So for you, thinking out there, watching this, what can you use from those childhood stories? Or what have you used? How have you seen what you do now or how you are now that's actually benefited from it? Yeah. How has the pain benefited you? We can't run from it. Life is going to be full of it. So why not use it? If I'm going to go through something uh, potentially traumatic or devastating, well, I'm going to use it for fuel. I'm going to use it for something to propel me, right? Um, Talk about me being a conductor. I want to. How do I power this train to do the things that I want? So speaking of doing things I want, this is a choice or distinction I want to play with. So on the screen, you see what's there: brain or your hand. It is a choice that you have. It is something that I grabbed from Steve Chandler, so I want to give him full credit for that. But I want to play with it in this way. I want you to consider what these two things are, and I'll guide you through this. So let's let's look at it like this. They're both body parts. So we can agree on that, right? Thumbs up through your screen or thumbs up at your home, whenever you're watching this. We're gonna acknowledge that these are two parts of our bodies, and most people have these things. I mean, if you're somebody who doesn't have both your hands, I'm sorry, apologize. It's not meant to isolate, exclude, but for the most part, you have hands. So brain, hand, we both know they're body parts. As parts of our bodies, we know that they're here to serve us in some different areas and activities. So let's look at what those things are. So this is a little bit of the info piece now, but play with me, stay with me. It's going to make sense in a minute. So we got to think about, what is the brain? It's this complex organ, right? Controls everything within us. Our what we what we touch, our emotions, our thoughts, our memories, our motor skills, our vision, our breathing, our temperature regulation, right? Every process that regulates our body, this thing up here has control over. It's safe to assume, safe to say that the brain's pretty important. It's going to make the biggest difference on life or death, would you say? I'd say. Then we have the hand, and that's the thing from Adam's family. So what's the hand do? Its major function is to manipulate objects to accomplish a goal. And you see the little thing on the bottom, that's from an article. That's research. right? It's not just things I'm pulling out of outer space. It's research. It's used for gripping, it's grasping, forming precise things. So, right, if I want to write, my hand is going to put the pen on the paper. My brain's going to tell it what to say or what to write. So we got these two body parts. They're functioning. They're here to serve us. They're here to do their different things. Control my body, control how I breathe, control my hand. But one of them is a traitor. Can you take a guess of which one it is? If you said the hand, you're incorrect. It's the brain. The brain is the traitor. Why is that? Because the hand does what I want it to do. So if I want to pick up a pen, I pick up the pen. If I want to drop this rock into my hand, I drop it. If I want to throw my computer across the wall, I can do that. My hands do that. They are under my will, under my strength. Now, the brain, it's in a whole league of its own because what happened for me, going back to that earlier slide, was my brain interpreted a picture. It said, all right, 5 people are in this picture, the sixth one isn't there. And it created something that didn't serve me. It served me this plate of invisibility, this plate of limited beliefs, this plate of anxiety, and all these different things. And how did that happen? Right? How does it see something and then think something else and then turn it into this identity of who am I? And this is what it means. This is the real version of me. My hand doesn't do that. My hand doesn't randomly punch people walking in the street. My hand doesn't involuntarily like start trying to choke me or punch me. So this is the choice. Which one is running your life? Which one is running your business right now? Are you being the author of your life? Are you being someone who is intentional and committed? Or are you running in this loop, this rewind loop? I talked about this on a podcast about how our minds, our brains are like movie theaters, and we're just hitting rewind buttons constantly, over and over, running the tape, running the game film, all these things that don't serve us. That's what I was doing. It wasn't until I realized that, oh, I have the hand. My brain isn't really running the show. If I can train it to do something else or train it to execute what I want, life is life is good. Doesn't mean everything else is falls by the wayside. Challenges happen outside circumstances go on, but I'm in control of that. I'm gonna manipulate and bend reality to my will. So the question for you is back again. Who's running the show? And think about this as a kid, right? This is all about returning to abundance. See Buddy the Elf here, you just like to smile. Smiling is my favorite. So that makes me ask the question, like, where does happiness come from? Hmm? Where does true happiness come from? And you think about kids. If you have kids, I love to watch my little ones do their thing. All of their happiness is self-generated, right? I can go out of the room, come back in. My son is whatever, he's singing something to himself. My daughter's dancing or something like that, and that's all them. That's not me walking in and doing anything to disturb it, anything to influence it. It's just who they're being. So the happiness that's self-generated, that honestly, that demand of life. Children are demanding life, make them happy. This is what I want, make me happy. And I'm going to scream, cry, fight, whatever it takes till I get happiness. Case in point, think about a kid who wants an ice cream cone. And you're like, no, no, we're not going to have that. Not going to have that. You're in public, right? The waterworks start, the stomping, the huffing and puffing, and hopefully you come to your senses and think, well, it's just an ice cream cone. Is it worth this moment? It's a $2 ice cream cone. Just go get it. So where does happiness come from? And if you're like me, at least when I was starting out, you would think that happiness was in a different place, that maybe you had to go to a different planet, maybe you had to go smoke something, drink something, sniff something, do anything else, go somewhere else to find this happiness. And this is where it happens with business, because now it's someday my prince will come, someday the clients will come, someday something outside of me is going to come and rescue me. It's going to make me feel better. It's going to change everything. That one thing. As soon as I get that one thing, as soon as I get that that new dress, that new suit, as soon as I get that new client, as soon as I get that new car, as soon as I get that new house, as soon as I get this new body, then I'll be. Yeah, someday, then I'll be. I call it Someday Island. And we forget all we had is this thing right here, that now. And why would I want to postpone happiness? As a kid, I demanded it. I wanted it right now. Like Gigi, I want my money. I want my money. I want it now. You don't have to be a brat about it. Like, I want my Oompa Loompa now. But that's the mentality. That was the approach. I want it. Where is it? Gimme. Gimme, gimme, gimme. And that can be a little bit childish, but think about the childlike energy behind it. Everything's coming. I can't wait for it to happen. The excitement, the enthusiasm. So, question, what's the last thing you've been really enthusiastic about? Like, what's really been exciting for you? What's really been, I you can't, you're on the edge of your seat, just dreaming about it, manifesting it. Everywhere you go, you see it. It's in your mind. What's the last thing you've really been enthusiastic and intentional about? So, moving on to choice number two. And this is the choice that, as coaches, consultants, it's really important to get on board with this choice, to choose wisely. Let's put it like that. So you see that little screenshot? That's from Step Brothers. So the dad in that part of the movie, he's just gushing over the other brother, not Will Ferrell's character. The other guy is the guy's playing his brother in the movie. He's like, "You're so impressive." He's in love with him. He's just gushing. Oh my goodness, can't get enough of him. So that's one choice. You could be like that, or have clients view you in that lane, in that light. You're so impressive. You're so awesome. You are on the pedestal. That's fine. There's another choice, and this is what I like to call expressive. How can I allow somebody else to express themselves in the most powerful way? Well, starts with me expressing myself. This is a picture of this bass guitarist, mono neon. He's probably the most unusual musician I've ever seen. I mean, he's an awesome, amazing dude. Never met him, would love to. So he plays bass left-handed, and what you see there is that he actually flips a right-handed guitar. So it's not that he reverses the strings like Jimi Hendrix would do. Like, he literally plays upside down with the bass. Never seen anybody do anything like that before. And you see by from his getup, he's got the sock on the guitar, a crocheted or quilted mask, and that's how he gets down. But he's good. So going back to going back to this, you get the choice to be impressive or expressive. And look at this as an possibility of being impressive. That's a scene from American Psycho. Christian Bale playing Patrick Bateman. And if you haven't watched the movie, highly recommend it. Not for kids, obviously, but he has the scene where these guys are passing their business cards out, comparing it. It's kind of a you know pissing contest. Trying to puff each other up, like who's number one, who's the dominant guy. And he's feeling good about his. He's like, yeah, look at my card, look at all the detail I put into it. And then this other guy basically just poops all over and it's like, you know what, that ain't nothing. Look at this. And so there's the part. He's looking at it and he's in his brain like, I can't believe this looks amazing. Look at the detail he did here. Like he sees it all. He recognizes like this guy's card blows his out of the water. And this is a thing that happens for coaches because if you're like Patrick, your whole idea of you is how am I coming across? That's the question that's happening in a in a conversation, in a session, whatever. It's like, how am I coming across? Well, what if I come across too strong here? What if I come across too light and too loose? What if I come across a little bit too whatever? And so the focus now is all about me. It's all about, am I good enough? Am I this, right? The brain playing the game of who are you? Are you worthy? How would anybody work with you? And whatever else, whatever other idea about yourself you had that isn't effective. In this tense buildup, this tense energy you're creating, and what's that doing? It's separating you from a client, separating you from that person's problems. So the opportunity is here, whether you want to allow that person to silence themselves, or do you want to silence yourself? Do you want the person we're working with, the client, the potential client, the prospect, to not speak, to not really get out what they really want, to not get to the heart of the matter of what is actually going to make the difference for them? Or are you going to make the choice of, maybe I can silence myself, maybe I can slow myself down just a little bit so that they get a chance to bring to the table the real thing? How can I be helpful in this situation for them? And this is what it looks like when we're in this impressive state. So I'm sure either you've done this in the past, like me, like, full transparency. I've sent out wild, wacky messages, really excited. Hey, I want you to join my thing. Hey, I'm a coach now. I want you, like, all these things happen. It happens. And the opportunity is to poke fun at it, make fun of it, make light of it, because your client is going to go through this at some point if they haven't already. They're going to go through a place of spam botting people, of trying so hard, and then they get ghosted, they get frustrated, they quit, they blame the coach, they do all these things, they write a bad review, whatever it looks like. And what was missing from all of this was an actual intention of learning about that person's problems, because that's the real context. The context is what's going to be useful for their life, not about how good your program is, not about how good this thing that you do is, how you're coming across. That's not going to do the trick. And it's not a trick. So, like LL says, don't call it a comeback, because it's already here. It's already available for you. This opportunity to allow people to speak, allow people to think, allow people to listen, allow people to feel into not only the problems they may be having, the challenges, but even more importantly, the opportunities, the possibilities. That's the game I play in. So I call it return to abundance because it's already there. I just want you to come back on. Just come back home. Come back home to yourself. Come back to the energy of enthusiasm, the energy of being excited and knowing that those those good works you do, the generous listen that you bring, it's worth it. It's worthwhile, and it makes a difference in the world. That you make a difference. And by making our clients the most powerful in the room, that's what allows them to keep I don't say coming back, but that's where the beauty starts to happen. Man, I know this person, you got to talk to them, right? That's how this thing grows. That's how this business and this practice blows up. Doing the good work, being true, being a person of integrity, being a person of your word. That's the abundance, at least to me. And I want to know your thoughts about that. Like, what does that abundant life look like for you, or how is that way of being for you? It doesn't have to be money, doesn't have to be material things. If it is, then write it out, share it. We'll love to hear it. Whoop, whoop. Back on up. So you might be thinking, all right, that's great. I got these choices, whether I want to follow my brain or my hand. I get to figure out if I'm going to be impressive or allow people to be expressive. So what's the secret, right? What's the secret sauce? Give it to me. And there isn't. And if there was, then I'll probably say just you, simply you. You are the sauce. You're the juice. And the opportunity for you that's available is to slow down. There's no rush. If you're sending out a message to somebody, you don't have to get on a call with them right away. Yes, you want, if you're in a season of like, I want to create some clients, if you want to be a little bit more assertive, that's your that's your right. But recognize what's the long-term game. Do I want to build a client or build a client base where people are needy of me? People like they have to have me. I don't want that. I want people to want me. I want people to work with me because they want to, not because they need to. Because I can play with the game of possibility with them. Slowing that down, it gives me a chance to relax too. Well, do I want this person in my life? Am I really ready to invest time and energy and attention to this what I call project? I always call my coaching agreements projects. So that's my sauce. Slowing down. What do I want to create from this? And how do I get to create myself first as someone who's not only just powerful but also of service? Someone who knows that when someone experiences me, they're going to create themselves and that their commitments are going to become truth. Slowing down, returning to the abundance within myself. And that's what I'm hopefully helping you learn a little bit about, or at least get a better understanding of. So, how does this help? How does connecting with people help? How does it serve? Because connecting with people can take you all over the world. And I want to share one of these stories with you really quickly because it was just unbelievable. Seeing these messages, seeing these tributes. This is what happens when you can listen to people. You can serve somebody from a deep, generous place, authentic place. And it's not forced, it's not something you're trying to get. I didn't need to get any of this, but I came from a place where this is available for me. So I'll read you this one thing in the middle here. It says, "Hi, Alex. I wanted to write a few words for you." This is from a former client. "Thank you so much for gifting me your time and energy. I have just completed my own momentum and magic coaching with Alex, and I loved every moment. It was grounding and playful at the same time. Alex is Alex helped keep my focus on what really matters, but also encouraged me to explore the things that distracted me so I know how to stay on my path." Imagine what it would be like for someone to write something like that about you, or for you, about you, to you. What kind of coach would you need to be? How would you need to show up? Would you be showing up in a place of, well, how do I look? How do I come across? Um, am I am I looking good? Am I saying the right thing? Doing am I am I checking all the boxes? Am I making sure that I'm tip top? Or would it be possible that you just being a person who loves, serves, cares the person who understands and can challenge someone else, can see their possibility before they can and help guide them there. Who do you need to be for someone to write that about you? So moving on with this, that third line, I'm about to point. You can't see me point. He asked amazing questions, but he mainly listened and held space so that I could do the work. I love the stories he shared, always with a purpose and so helpful and reassuring. He made things seem easier and possible, and although the things I now have planned are scary, I see what's on the other side of the fear. I don't want to feel unafraid of my potential. I like the scariness, but I feel more equipped to step into it and keep my momentum going. Scary can be fun. Scary is fun. What was scary for me was allowing myself to love me, allowing myself to be okay with me because impressive. I want to fit in with them. I want to be here with them. I want to tap into this group. And I'm so glad that I didn't quite fit in anywhere because it allows me to be this guy. And this guy's all right. I'm going to keep him around for a while. So, so you get to wrap up. If this is useful for you, I have a free gift for you. I have a free ebook. It's called What It Takes to Win Big in Business. 3 insights for effectively leading yourself and your team. So scan that QR code, you go to that website, talk.ac/Alex Dumas. You put in a code WIN, WIN, and book is yours. Just go to a quick survey, 2-minute thing, how this impacted you, any insights you gained from it. Simple, plain. And that's all, folks. If you want to connect with me, if you have anything else that comes out from this episode that you feel or you want to share with somebody, have them email me, alex@abundancedaily.com, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, at the real Alex Dumas, and website right there, therealalexdumas.com. So that is Turn to Abundance. So as you finish watching this, take time with these questions, take time to think for yourself, think within yourself, who do I need to be? And what is this abundant life? What is this place that you don't have to get to, but you get to redesign, you get to reformat it and have it clearer in your world? Because that's the game I love to play with people. I love to play that opportunity for them in their minds. And once they get to see it, that's all I need. I just need you to see it. So if you can see it, then share. I'd love to hear all about it. So this is the last episode for 2022. Coming back in 2023 stronger. Gonna have some interesting people I'm gonna be uh, highlighting and showcasing and having them express themselves on this platform, because this is the game I have to play. This is how this ride goes, right? The train of thought. So I'm grateful. I'm appreciative of you. I'm wishing a happy holiday for you and your family, for your loved ones, that people are safe, that wherever you go, you're there, present, focused, and loving this beautiful ride, loving this beautiful journey, because this is what we get, and we got it all. So all that said and done, chugga chugga, love you, love you. Till next time, see you in 2023. God bless. Stay blessed.